Sam Giancana was not just another Chicago gangster. He was a man who operated in the shadows of power, bridging the worlds of organized crime, politics, and even intelligence agencies. Rising from the violent streets of Chicago's Little Italy, he became one of the most influential and feared mob bosses in American history. Giancana was the mastermind behind some of the most lucrative illegal gambling operations in the country, controlling casinos from Chicago to Las Vegas and even into Mexico and Central America. His name became synonymous with high-stakes corruption, deadly power struggles, and whispered secrets in the corridors of government. His connections extended far beyond the underworld. Giancana was not just a crime boss. He was a kingmaker, a power broker, and an enigma. He allegedly helped secure the 1960 presidential election for John F. Kennedy, using his mob influence to manipulate votes in key states. At the same time, he collaborated with the CIA in assassination plots against Fidel Castro, turning the mob into a covert arm of the U.S. government. And in his spare time, he partied with Hollywood's elite, rubbing shoulders with stars like Frank Sinatra and dating Phyllis McGuire, one of America's most famous singers. His life was the stuff of crime legends, until it all came to an abrupt and violent end. On June 19th, 1975, just days before he was set to testify before a Senate committee about the mob's covert ties to the CIA, Giancana was shot multiple times in the basement of his Oak Park, Illinois home. The setting of his murder was chillingly symbolic, executed in the very city where he had once ruled with an iron grip. But even more disturbing was the precise method of execution. He was shot 6 times, including 1 bullet to the mouth, a mob warning, signaling that he had talked too much. Was his death a message from his former associates, fearful of what he might reveal? Or was there a more sinister force at play, one that reached into the highest levels of government? To this day, no one has been charged with his murder, leaving behind a legacy wrapped in mystery, conspiracy, and intrigue. Born Salvatore Giancana on June 15, 1908, in Chicago's Little Italy, Sam Giancana's rise in the criminal underworld was almost inevitable. The son of Sicilian immigrants, he grew up in a ruthless neighborhood where survival often meant choosing between poverty and crime. He quickly gravitated toward the latter, joining the infamous 42 Gang, a violent group of young delinquents that terrorized Chicago's streets. The gang specialized in auto theft, robbery, and extortion, quickly earning a reputation for their ruthlessness. Giancana, with his fiery temper and sharp instincts, quickly rose through the ranks, catching the attention of the Chicago outfit, the dominant crime syndicate that had once been ruled by Al Capone. But Giancana wasn't just a thug. He was a visionary in organized crime. By the Prohibition era, he had become a key player in bootlegging operations, navigating the treacherous world of illegal alcohol sales and evading law enforcement with calculated precision. He gained favor with top outfit bosses, including Paul, the waiter, Ricca, and Tony Accardo, becoming a trusted enforcer. His reputation for violence and cunning only grew, with whispers that those who crossed him disappeared without a trace. Even his nickname, Momo, was rumored to reflect his volatile, unpredictable nature, a trait that kept his enemies, and even his allies, on edge. By the 1950s, Giancana had taken over illegal gambling rackets, narcotics trafficking, and labor unions, expanding the outfit's influence far beyond Chicago. But his most shocking move was his alleged role in shaping American history. It is widely believed that in 1960, Giancana, along with other mobsters, helped deliver Illinois and West Virginia for John F. Kennedy in the presidential election. Joseph P. Kennedy, JFK's father, allegedly brokered the deal, relying on the Chicago outfit to ensure his son's victory. With bribed officials, fake votes, and intimidation tactics, Giancana ensured that the Mafia's chosen candidate won the White House. But the favor was never repaid. Once elected, JFK's brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy, launched an all-out war on organized crime, making Giancana public enemy number 1. The betrayal was so blatant that Giancana fumed in private, feeling that he had been used and discarded. Some believe that this personal vendetta, combined with the Mafia's broader anger at the Kennedys, played a role in the conspiracy theories surrounding JFK's assassination in 1963. Was the mob behind it? Was Giancana involved in exacting revenge? The truth remains one of the great mysteries of American history. If the election scandal wasn't bizarre enough, Giancana's connections to the US government took an even darker turn. In the early 1960s, the CIA recruited him to help assassinate Fidel Castro, who had shut down mob-run casinos in Havana. Giancana and other mob bosses devised outlandish assassination plots, including poisoned cigars, exploding seashells, and even a botched sniper attack. Though the missions failed, they cemented his place as an asset of US intelligence, proving that sometimes the government and organized crime had common enemies. But while Giancana worked in the shadows, his public life was equally scandalous. His friendship with Frank Sinatra was legendary, with some claiming that Sinatra acted as a middleman between the Mafia and the Kennedys. Even more shocking was Giancana's relationship with singer Phyllis McGuire. Their high-profile affair was tabloid gold, sparking rumors that she was the Mafia's songbird. Giancana was so paranoid about her loyalty that he hired a private investigator to spy on her, only to nearly blow his own CIA cover in the process. The scandal deepened, and many within the outfit saw his Hollywood connections as a liability. By the mid-1960s, Giancana's power was slipping. He fled to Mexico in 1966, living in luxury for nearly a decade while avoiding US authorities. But in 1974, Mexican officials, under US pressure, deported him back to America. Soon after, he was subpoenaed to testify before the Senate about the Mafia's ties to the CIA. Then came the hit. On the night of June 19, 1975, Giancana was in his Oak Park kitchen, cooking sausage and peppers, when someone he trusted walked in. He turned his back and was shot 6 times. The final bullet through his mouth was a Mafia signature, a message that he had talked too much. His murder was a textbook hit, silent, efficient, and final. To this day, no one has been officially charged. Did the outfit take him out before he could testify? Or did the CIA silence their former asset? The questions remain unanswered, but one thing is certain. Sam Giancana knew too much, and in the world of organized crime, that is a deadly position to be in.